Good evening, people. This is a presentation about symbolism behind children and childhood. When looking back on the texts that were analyzed in class, I noticed a commonality and felt compelled to explore it further. Why did both Gloria Anzaldúa and Audre Lorde use flashbacks to their childhood to make their points? It's a fact people instinctively feel more for children, and in this way these authors were able to employ those pathos. There's symbolism and imagery there that writers are able to play off of to make their arguments. So then what is it? What is the history of the child? Since the dawn of mankind, children have been seen as pure and innocent, like the closest thing on the earth to angels. This already holds power in the audience's mind, and during the Renaissance it was even popular to paint angels as babies. A lot of symbolism regarding kids and purity comes from religious representations, but the reason for this symbolism goes even deeper than that. Perhaps the root of it all can be traced to those strong parental feelings taught by evolution over millennia that has told us children require care and nurturing. As civilization has advanced from living in caves to dirt huts to straw huts to stone and metal buildings, labor laws and welfare have all been created and expanded to protect everybody but especially children. As humans, there is that innate duty as a species to raise our young. They will take the past with them into the future, and it's the job of people around them to guide these blank slates into the future, as outlined in some popular Enlightenment era philosophy. And there has been debate on whether people are truly born as blank slates, but it's undeniable that how a child is nurtured, in reference to the more accepted nature versus nurture model, it's undeniably important, and childhood does affect development. The simple importance of that fact has led us to create an image of these pure and by extension innocent children that we must then direct so as to allow them to take us efficiently and correctly into the future. In other words, we must lead them carefully and give them a sufficient childhood that won't corrupt them, as has been the goal throughout history. While admittedly a bit hyperbolic, we can agree it's not proactive to have a bunch of Mussolinis and Hitlers running around. Regardless, this is where a lot of the rhetorical power of children and childhood symbolism comes from. And having these scarred childhoods, Anzaldúa and Lorde tell the reader they were victims and that they were corrupted through the hatred of those around them. Their experiences as children have impact precisely because they encounter those feelings of negativity at such a tender age, which leaves them with long-standing trauma. They were meant to be given love and care that they can take with them and be proactive in their worlds. And don't get me wrong here, Anzaldúa and Lorde are both remarkable literary figures, but if there is never this childhood trauma, who knows where they'd be in life? At the very least, there would be a lot less personal unrest, which is already grounds for positive outward expression. If the history of man tells us children are the future, then racism represents stagnation. It stunts the potential of the youth. This is one angle Anzaldúa and Lorde wanted to communicate to us on the issue of racism by relating the memories of their youth and employing that long history behind the symbols of children and childhood.